So I had a question, changing the subject a little bit, but I remember and correct me if I'm wrong, when you started your podcast, you started the Sevan, Matt, and Josh show. And I still go back and watch those. Y'all ever think about just doing a throwback one day and just getting the band back together?
So here's the story.
Talk to me.
I was driving in my car. I'll never forget where I was driving. This is the history of that podcast. I was driving in my car and I was texting with Matt. And he was a bit of a chatty Cathy that day because he does not really, we didn't text that much. And I said, hey, dude, you want to just get on a phone call and record it? And he said, yeah, let's do it. That'll be fun. And I said, we'll call it a podcast. He's like, cool. And I'm thinking in my head, fuck, I could do this while I drive my kids around because I drive my kids around a lot, right? So then I get off the phone with him and I call Josh Bridges and I'm like, hey, dude, Matt and I are going to do this show. What do you think? Or maybe I asked Matt first, hey, do you care I said, do you know Josh Bridges? He goes, yeah, I'm actually friends with him. I said, cool. I go, what do you think about doing having him on the show? And he goes, oh, that'd be awesome. And then I called Josh and he said, that'd be awesome. So we just started doing the show. I quickly realized I couldn't drive around in my car because the cell reception is so shitty in Santa Cruz. So we ended up doing the shows, and I actually told Matt ahead of time. We were talking. I was like, hey, dude, I don't know if you want to do this. And he said, why? I said, because I'm pretty wild. Like, I'm going to say some shit like that's crazy, right? And I'm going to say some shit that's like really true, and it's going to rub fucking delusional fucks wrong, and they come at me all the time, but I don't care, right? And he said to me, his exact words was, no, I want to be free too. And I said, okay, cool. Yeah, it was super cool. So we did the show, and we did 20 shows, I think. And then at some point, he kind of just went quiet. And actually, the truth is, around show, I'm making this up, but around show 16, 17, or 18, it started being more difficult to get him on. I'm making up the fact that I don't know which show it was, but at some point ahead of us coming to a halt, he was becoming harder and harder for me to get a hold of. So then then we hit the last show, and Josh knew why we weren't doing it anymore, but he didn't want to tell me because he had clearly had private conversations with Matt, right? So
got it.
So basically, I couldn't figure out why it was, right? And so I thought maybe I did something to upset him or whatever. So like 3 months passed, and Matt called me, and he's like, hey, dude, like, I go on the show, and I say shit, and people just fucking shit on me, and I'm not up for it, right? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like every time you step out of your house, let's say a bird shit on you, right? So he's like, hey, I go out and people shit on me, and I'm not about that. I don't want to go out on a limb and get shit on. This isn't playing out basically how I thought it was. And I said, okay, that's cool. And now,
that makes sense.
And so I never knew if that was true or not, but flash forward now 5 years or 4 years, and he's been consistent in his message. He doesn't want to be shit on. That's why he doesn't do a lot of fucking podcasts. That's why he doesn't put himself out there. That's why he doesn't respond to a lot of stuff. He isn't.
Yeah, man.
Why would he, like, he was in the public eye for so long, and he doesn't want to go out and be like, hey, I'm voting for Trump, or I didn't get the vax, or he doesn't want to answer any questions like that because he doesn't want to fucking take the smoke. And I'm not judging him for that at all. That's all on him. But so that's what happened to that. That's what happened there. And like after 4 years of feedback, I believe that. I think that was actually his valid thing. Like, dude. And hey, most people, like, he already made himself vulnerable for 5 years physically. He doesn't want to, like,
sure.
And he's selling program now, and he probably doesn't want to alienate people who want to buy his programming or be a part of his program or his community because they disagree with him on abortion. You know what I mean? And it's like,
sure.
And I don't know what his stance is on that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it makes sense in that regard. I just think of the Joe Rogan comment. He always says, don't read the comments, because what I loved about y'all three is just the dynamic, your personality, and you bring these sides out of the athletes that, when they're doing their thing, promoting, and in the kind of like PC world, you don't see that of their personality. But man, just so many years, Matt was dominant, and then Josh was a dominant athlete and a Navy SEAL, and just having all three of your different perspectives, man, it just would be pretty cool seeing.
Dude, I would love to do a monthly show with those two. I would love to do a monthly show with those two. That would be so fucking awesome.
Heck yeah. And what I love about Josh, though,
I'd love
is
to
I
do a
feel like
monthly show
you
with
and
Kamala
Josh
Harris
resonate.
too, though. I'd like to do a monthly show with Kamala Harris too. Go on. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, good luck getting her to talk.
Right.
You know
That's
how
what would
that
be
is.
so
But
funny. That's what would be so awesome.
well, brother, she probably needs someone like you to give
Yeah.
her some truth in her life.
Yeah.
Instead of the people that are just the establishment.
Right.
But yeah, bro, just wanted to bring that up just
All
to
right.
go on a lighter note. And if no one has watched your old episodes of that, they should go back and check them out
I
because y'all
agree.
have some a lot of funny banter going on.
All
All right,
right.
brother, have a great week, man. Good talking to you.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Later.
Peace and love. My wife sent this to me this morning. The people I admire the most are the ones who unabashedly tend to their inner peace. They do not want to hurt anyone. They move with kindness. They make time for self-care and growth. They do their best to give compassion to all those who cross their path. These people make the world lighter. That's 2 great subclips now. That at the end of the podcast, right? I love subclips. I'm so into subclips right now. I want to have like 10-minute content. So that first one was the future of CrossFit. That's breaking news. It's crazy. You guys heard it here first. So now we know what the games plan is moving forward. I'll work out the details. I'm not sure. I need to talk to